Hey, it's Crystal from the Abundantly Blessed Homestead. I am back at making dinner again, so I figured I'd pull out the camera. Forewarning, all the kids are here, husband's out here working on the side of the house. So, oh, and I'm potty training my youngest. So, could get a little bit wild here, but tonight we're going to make a barbecue beef sourdough skillet. It's really, really good. So, let's get started. We're going to make the topping first. The cast iron, which that's what I usually use. The cast iron skillet is inside the oven, okay? So we need 3 cups of fed sourdough starter. So here's mine. It still has bubbles in it, that's why I'm bringing it up. It doesn't have any liquid at the top. It's not, you know, it's not hungry. So anyway, we're going to take 3 cups of this into a bowl. The topping calls for 3 cups of fed sourdough starter, 6 eggs, 1 teaspoon of salt, 6 tablespoons of butter, and 4 teaspoons of baking powder. So you basically can put this topping on almost anything. I've done like a chicken with vegetables with gravy sauce, and then put this on top. That's good too. Pizza, you could do pizza on the bottom. I've done like an upside down pizza where you do like all your pizza toppings at the bottom except for the cheese. So your tomato sauce and your meats and your mushrooms and whatever you want to put on your pizza. And then you put this on top, and it's super, super good. I will say that that recipe, my kids missed the cheese, but I'm going to go wash my hands. I'll be right back. What's wrong? Not right now. Okay. So I'm going to push my sourdough starter off the sides of my jar. I didn't leave much left. This recipe is actually on another YouTube channel, Farmhouse on Boone. She has a lot of recipes for sourdough. I'm going to go grab my eggs and I'll be right back. Okay, I've got my eggs, so I'm going to go ahead and put the 6 eggs in. They're my farm fresh eggs. 2 eggs. Nice and noisy around here. 3 eggs. 4 eggs. 5 eggs. 6 eggs. This is for a huge sourdough skillet. I don't even know how big it is. I'll measure it. I even have a tape measure sitting here to remind me to measure it for you guys, but this one fits a huge skillet. 6 eggs. Okay, 1 teaspoon of salt. Salt. Okay. 4 teaspoons of baking powder. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Baking powder, and then it calls for 6 tablespoons of butter, but I'm going to do coconut oil. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. That's all my ingredients. So I'm going to mix that on up here. So then this is ready to pour on top of whatever base you want to do. Tonight I'm going to use leftover beef roast that I had. Some of my homemade sugar-free barbecue sauce, and kind of thin the barbecue sauce out with some broth. But I mean, if you don't have homemade barbecue sauce, obviously you can go buy some at the store and use them inside this recipe. You would just need leftover beef. I'm also boiling some carrots on the back of the stove over here, and I have some leftover vegetables. I have some green beans and some potatoes. I'm going to chop them up and kind of layer them on there. Anyway, this is what it looks like now. Kind of bubbly. That's what you want. Okay, whoops. All right, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So I got my hot skillet. That's the key to stuff not sticking to your cast iron, is to preheat it. Got my hot skillet, and I'm just going through this container of leftover roast beef that we had. And I'm just going to cover the bottom of the pan with it. Probably not going to want to cook a bone. Okay. So like I said, you can do this with chicken, like a chicken pot pie sort of deal. This is my homemade barbecue sauce. Sugar-free homemade stuff. You could use store-bought. Eventually I do plan to do a video on how to make it. So that was about 2 cups of barbecue sauce. And then we're going to layer on some vegetables. I've got steamed carrots. You could also use frozen vegetables. They cook up just fine in the process. I just have leftover vegetables inside my refrigerator that need to be used. So I'm doing carrots, green beans, and some potatoes. But you're going to fill up your pan about halfway, because you need enough room for this, basically a sourdough bread crust, basically on the top, to be able to do its thing here. So I have probably overfilled this every time I overfill it, because I go about 2/3 of the way full. Okay, and then I'm going to add some liquid. Probably going to add, I don't know, a cup probably, a cup of broth. Yeah, about a cup of broth to that scenario. I'm going to go over and grab the batter. I'll be right back. Okay, in goes the batter, right on the top. You want your oven at 400 degrees. I'm just going to empty that on out. We're going to smooth it on out. And that's all there is to it. You're going to bake it at 400 degrees for 25 minutes, 30 minutes, something like that. It'll start looking, you know, nice and golden brown on the top. And then you know you're done. That's all there is to it. I will put the recipe for the topping and everything else I did in the description. Please like and subscribe to my videos. We're going to be doing cooking videos all the time. That'd be great. If you have any questions, comment down below. Thanks.